Who the heck do I think I am? My name is Anders, and I'm a songwriter. In previous vlogs, we've talked about how a song develops in terms of lyrics and in terms of musical flow. Regarding the musical flow, I would like to elaborate a bit further on that. In today's vlog, we're going to talk about stable and unstable. I'm not all too familiar with the more technical terms in terms of stable and unstable, but here's what I do know. Songs and music in general is about emotions. It's about contrasts. Maybe you're not aware of this or you don't think about it that often, but most listeners, they like to be taken on a small journey during the course of a song or a piece of music. They like contrasts, they like ups and downs, and most often they like a happy ending, closure. We like songs that go from happy to sad and then back to happy. From relaxed to uneasy and then back to relaxed. Usually a story is told and you as a listener, you need closure. You need for things to resolve. We've already covered this in terms of lyrics, in terms of the text, but in terms of music, there are also a few things to consider. Most people are comfortable with major chords like C, E, or G because they sound full, they sound harmonic, as opposed to minor chords, which will often sound a bit uneasy or altered. They do not give the listener closure in the same way as major chords do. Let's try a few variations. Here's a C major. And here's the C minor. It sounds a bit sad. C sounds better emotionally. Let's try an E. E minor. Let's try a G. G minor. Major, minor. You hear the difference? Major, minor. C major, C minor. Major, minor. You can even try different variations of more or less the same tone or chord. For instance, a G and a G7. Here's a G. And here's a G7. G, G7. So when writing your songs, you may want to consider using different combinations of major chords, dominant chords, and minor chords in order to add that little extra flavor to your song and keep the listener engaged. You can certainly write songs using only 2 or 3 accords. A lot of very successful songwriters do that. But including all these different variations will keep your listener engaged and captured for longer than if you just use a few simple chords. Just a quick comment on stable and unstable when you write lyrics. Typically, we like harmonic verses, like even number of lines. And oftentimes, lines has a tendency to be sung in pairs. But when we have verses or choruses that have an uneven number of lines, like 3 or 5, the verse or chorus becomes unstable. Because there will always be a line that is somehow not really belonging to anything, and our emotional response is, it feels like something is missing. It feels unresolved. But even though it feels unresolved, a variation of stable and unstable chords and stable and unstable verses is a very good way to keep the listener engaged. The listener will not get bored because the listener will kind of wait for this closure, which hopefully comes towards the end of the song. In the end, what really matters is that you feel good about your song when it's finished. Does the lyrics go well to the music? Do the chords harmonize well together? Do you bring forward the emotions that you wanted to? If so, your mission is accomplished. As I said in the beginning of this vlog, I'm not all too familiar with all the technical details and terms of this whole concept that is chord progression. You should look that up elsewhere. This was just meant as an eye-opener, and hopefully it will help you as a songwriter to make your songs even more engaging, catchy, and exciting to listen to. Good luck with your songwriting.